Hey, this is a new podcast. Who dis?
Habba Habba.
It's the Ultimate United Givers of Themes, the podcast. Let's talk about a movie
Habba
and the
Habba.
song that goes in the movie.
The podcast for the Ultimate United Givers of Themes, and we're also known as TUUGOF. We're gonna talk about the movies that we rewrote all the themes for. We're watching some movies and complaining about things, cause we want our themes in these damn movies. But we don't think Hollywood has the damn guts to deal with how real our themes are. We don't think the themes from all these movies, cause the most are good enough and we can do a better job. So we rewrote the themes and now they're better themes. And now this is a podcast where you listen to us talk about our themes. Okay, here we go, let's podcast.
Let's podcast. Kicking off No Country for Old Men. And this is by the Coen Brothers. Sick groove on this one. Sick groove.
Yeah, this is a real stomper.
Texas, and you don't stumble on a bad mess. You smell the cash and you follow the clues, and now it's no country for you. Hey, damn, he's got a problem, and his problem is you, and you're gonna make him wanna flip a lot of coins. You're gonna make him so damn annoying. You're gonna make him use his calculator. You're gonna make him use his calculator. He wins your head, he'll call you friend. Oh boy, this is not a country for old
Talking No Country.
Yes, baby.
Old man.
Oh, yes, baby. Yes, it is.
Now, this is a movie by the Coen Brothers, and
Such a
it is
picture.
their first movie to win Good Picture by the Oscars.
Yeah, this movie won Good Picture. I believe this was probably, their second Good Picture nomination? Was it just their second?
Did Fargo get nominated for best Good Picture?
Yes, I believe
yeah,
so.
Yeah, and
I know a few others did, but I think they were after. I'm pretty sure Grit did, which I watched last night.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this is I'm not as sure.
Yeah.
But I think A Serious Man did also.
Yeah, because that's one. Didn't they go to nominating like 20 movies for Good Picture for a couple of years?
Well, the way it is now,
it definitely was.
They changed the rules to 10. Well, between 5 and 10. So some years they're like, some years we're only going to have 5, and some years they'll have 7. This year, I think they've said for sure they're going to have 10, which I think that kind of guarantees a Good Picture nom for Macbeth from Joel Coen.
Yeah.
Not Ethan. Ethan's doing theater.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to do that play. I'm going to go do plays.
Yeah, I did think it's funny that the first one, he was like, no, Ethan didn't want to do it because he wanted to go do theater instead. And we'll get to No Country in like 1 second. But Macbeth, man, you guys got to see it. And the production design, it is just such a theater piece.
It is, yeah.
It's, oh my God, it's so good.
It's really good, and it's probably the first time in my life that I watched Shakespeare and like really understood what was going on too.
Yes,
like,
yes.
you know?
And you know who just kills it in it? Very beginning.
That old lady.
Well, sure. Now, one of my favorite
Brandon.
character actors. Well, it's in that scene.
Yeah.
Ralph Ineson. He's the first guy who shows up.
Who that guy?
So he's the first guy who shows up and starts yapping about stuff. He plays the Green Knight in The Green Knight.
What's that?
Oh man, The Green Knight is like, that might be my favorite movie of this year.
Really? I never even heard of that. Is that got that Slumdog Millionaire in it? Right?
I never seen that, but I think it's Dev Patel.
Yeah. Dev Patel.
And
He's
it's
Slumdog
it's
Millionaire,
from
I think.
David Lowery, who directed a lot of movies I like. He directed A Ghost Story.
Ah.
He directed Pete's Dragon, which was actually excellent.
The cartoon?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was also in camper band Beethoven and Cracker also.
Yeah, is that the same guy?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
It's gotta be.
He's friends with Bonnie Billy because he's in A Ghost Story.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely the same guy. How many people are going to be called Lowry? I mean, come on. Think about it.
So you know one thing I got to thank the Coen brothers for regarding No Country for Old Men?
What's that?
I don't think I even really noticed this until like third watch or something, but the movie kind of has no music in it, and they were like, we're not gonna really try to theme this that much. There's like a few tones.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume. I mean, this movie came out in what, 2007? Right?
7 or 8.
So there had already been. The themes had already, the Ultimate United Givers of Themes, our band.
Yeah, they knew.
They already been together for at least 5 years. So we had at least 5 years of legacy at that, or not legacy, 5 years of infamy at that point. So they probably were sitting around going like, you know what, we could call up T-Bones Burnett and have him put some bullshit all over this.
And maybe he did, either him or Carter Burr.
Yeah.
Carter Burr,
but
Candace Bergen.
It's smart that they didn't, that they stayed clear of the music, because as you guys just heard, we had a theme that just like, it tells you everything you need to know. You don't even need to watch the movie. I just saved you $19.
So I say this anytime I watch almost any movie from the Coen bros, but this might be their best movie. They've got so many winners, but I watched this and I'm just like, this movie is goddamn perfect.
It is, but I mean, There Will Be Blood should have won Best Movie.
See, I'm a tough call there, because I mean, ain't disagreeing. I'll give you that. But I'm also like, this movie is incredible.
It is, but it's not as, in my opinion, it's not as good as There'll Be Blood, because There'll Be Blood is just, There'll Be Blood exists on a different plane.
I agree. Like There Will Be Blood.
It's more, it's God tier. This is still people tier, but this is like as high as you can get on people tier, but it's not God tier.
Right. Yeah, that one and a couple other of PTAs. I think I think he's got a couple Kubrick level pictures.
Yeah, I mean, then There Will Be Blood. Honestly, he was really polishing Kubrick's apple a lot on that movie. Like the whole beginning of the movie, it's like, didn't I already see this in 2001, like way back in 1968?
Sure. Have you seen his new picture yet?
We just don't feel comfortable going to the theater yet.
Yeah, totes. But here's what I'll say.
But I do, and my soul hurts that I haven't seen it
and
yet.
This ain't no spoiler, but I'll just say, to me, the vibe of it made it almost feel like it's a sequel to There Will Be Blood and to Boogie Nights.
And to Booger Nights.
And to Punch Drunk Love.
Interesting.
Like, it was like, I feel like this movie is thematically right in line with all of those.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, way back when we were doing the There Will Be Blood podcast, which I think Sean, our friend Sean Kelly, was right. I think he posited that all those movies were already sequels of each other. So maybe he's right.
Yeah. It was all in the, I mean, Sean really is an expert with fiction, with cinematic universes.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
he knows what universe
about
something's
them
in.
and what they entail and things about them. But going back to No Country for Old Men and There Will Be Blood, and they were, I believe, they shared a lot of the same locations, and didn't.
Are you going to talk about
when they were blowing? There was like the fire, the oil fire, and then the Coen brothers were like, "Take it to the bank. We're trying to shoot No Country for Old Men, and then Daniel Plainview's all the way over yonder starting an oil fire, and then they had to stop for the day,
I think there was some shot where it probably got taken out before release, but I think there was some shot where you could see smoke in the background of No Country from the oil fire in There Will Be Blood, and Daniel Day-Lewis is just over there going like, "Let me see that."
What if Daniel Day-Lewis what if Daniel Plainview would have just walked in to like No Country for Old Men?
Oh man, imagine Daniel Plainview facing down Anton Chigurh,
because he would just be like, now here's what I'm going to do. You are going to put down that cow-killing toy, and you are going to give me that briefcase, and then we are going to go to Woody Harrelson and scare the shit. Nah, I lost it. Fuck.
I need you to step out of the train, sir. That was close. That was close. I've heard a couple of interviews with Javier Bardem lately, and you know what's funny about Javier Bardem that relates to what we're doing? From the beginning of, he was recently on this Mustached Comedians podcast, which I'm not going to plug unless Marin wants to plug us too.
Yeah, Mark Marin.
But the first 5 minutes are just him and Javier Bardem talking about what a podcast is. Because I think Javier Bardem was like, I don't know what a podcast is.
I do not know what the podcast is.
He's got such a good
He
voice.
does. He has one of those voices that makes you want to drink coffee and have a cigar. And I've never even had a cigar. But
And
it
he
makes you
says
wanna
Josh
have 'em.
Brolin is a great guy, though they didn't shoot together. I think to date they've only ever shot one scene together.
In Doom?
In Dune, there's that one scene where
Where he's like, yo, what about dunes? Yeah, I hear that. Take me to the bank.
like
Let me see
Oscar
that.
Isaac. Oscar Isaac is like, oh, these guys might fight with us. Let me see that. And he sends in Javier Bardem, and he's like, hey, how you doing? Listen, I'm just gonna spit on the floor out of respect. And then so they all spit.
Yeah. Spitting on the floor is definitely...
Moisture's really valuable when you live at Dune.
Yeah, they in Dune. Here's what Dune's about. It's a movie about a planet that has spices on it, and spice is hard to come by in the universe, and so they fight about it a lot. And then there's going to be some guy who kills. I don't know
Somebody who dunes it.
Yeah.
So can I go off on a couple of the actors in this film for a minute?
You can go ape. As far as I'm concerned,
I'm going to go full bore and whole hog, and also maybe entire pig on this. The supporting cast in this film, my God, you got Kelly MacDonald.
I like her.
You got Steve Root. You got
Woodsy Harrelson.
Oh, and man, Woody is very good in this picture.
Mm-hmm.
And
Tom Lee Jones.
Yeah, Tom Lee Jones.
And
he's
you know
very
the
good
whole
in this
you
picture.
know the whole deal about the casting mishap about this movie. You know this deal.
I do know that deal, but I'm not sure if it's a real deal.
It's a fake deal.
Well, because recently I heard Brolin talking about the auditioning process for this, and it didn't seem to. You want go ahead and tell?
Okay,
I think we're talking about it's a generational thing.
Yeah. Like I heard that the Coen brothers were like, get James Brolin for this movie because it was supposed to be
about old men.
It was supposed to be James Brolin and
Good
Tommy
book,
Lee Jones. It's by Cormac McCarthy.
Yeah, don't come here if you want commas.
Yeah, because like he'll just put an and there instead. I assume I've actually never read a Cormac McCarthy book.
Oh man, they're good.
Yeah, I've about 20 years ago I read these books called Hyperion, and
Sure.
now I just really have a hard time reading any other books.
Well, what is this? The Ultimate United Givers of Books opinions here?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me started on because I will go ape. If you get me started on books, I will go ape.
Yeah,
I mean, I just for some reason every time I start a fiction book, and I don't know if I care for fiction books. Like I'm just like, nah, it's
Okay,
not
yeah,
Hyperion.
I get it.
But I really love nonfiction books. I like reading books about stories that happened.
I read a good book. It was actually like a mini book that you can buy on the computer for it's like, hey, here's a mini book for $1. It's like 80 pages, and it was written by a.
So it's like it's really small. It's small.
Yeah, I mean, I used
it.
it on a digital device. Yeah, it's too small to read. It's a mini, but you need to get one of those. You need to get
Like for a mini person.
those glasses that jewelers have that have magnifying glass.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, it was by this editor who ended up working with. It was about his year working with the Coen brothers, and man, they got. It's great hearing about the way they work. Mm-hmm. One, these guys are efficient filmmakers, and efficient writers, and also they have a thing called the meat dinner when they wrap a film. They have like a cast party or something, and it's something where they eat like porridge or gruel or something. Hey. And if you don't eat your porridge or whatever, then you're not allowed to come to the meat dinner. That happens like a day later or something.
Like, is it just a dinner where they serve meat? Or?
I think maybe they only serve meat.
So
I don't know.
You have to eat the porridge first, so you have fiber in your system to be able to digest the meat.
I think it's more just like a rule, like it's like a tribute. Like you have to eat the porridge if you want permission to come to the meat.
Interesting. Okay.
I could, yeah.
Yeah.
And John Goodman always feels bad about his performances. He thinks he's bad, but spoiler, he's not.
Yeah. Hey, John Goodman, I got some news for you. You're pretty good. And it's pretty good, and it didn't get really good until it started getting good. There's that HBO show that he's on called Right on Gemstones.
Oh yeah, I hear that new one's good. I watched the old ones, and they were like, it's not bad.
I mean, it's because it's kind of like with Danny McBride, like he's got like one thing,
yeah,
and that thing is funny. But then at one point, I think he was like, you know what, I'm going to change the thing a little bit, and I'm going to make it a little bit more dramatic, and that's what they're doing now. And I mean, it's still goofy.
Sure.
Wait, what? It's still goofy. Yeah, that sounded right. That sounded right.
That did sound weird before, though.
I don't know. I mean, hey, it's early in the morning. We're podcasting. We're actually going to go to the studio in a little bit and record some songs in the studio.
Lay down some jams. Lay down some track. We're going to do some
some hot licks. Yeah. So this movie, No Country for Old Men, is about this guy, Javier Bardem, and he has this condition where instead of people, he sees cows, I guess. So like he has his cow killing toy, and he's just walking around, and his job before was to kill cows, apparently, and then that's just what he's doing for this movie. But
he just doesn't realize.
He doesn't realize it. Yeah.
Like he sees this car at the beginning. He sees the car driving down the highway, and he's like, I need to get that cow out of the car.
Yeah. Well, why is that cow driving that car?
Okay, I'm sorry. We have to do
and
this.
Then like. Imagine his surprise when the cow gets out of the car and starts talking to him. I mean, come on! Wouldn't you kill that? I mean, hey,
wouldn't you?
I'm.
Don't kid yourself.
I'm
that cow would kill you if it had the chance.
I know, and your entire family.
I have
Billy.
this crazy friend who doesn't kill cows. His name's Jesse S. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Jay Short.
Well, maybe I need to go to Bovine University. I mean, that might just solve everything.
I forgot to even mention when I was going on a rant there about another character actor who's in this, who is just a top-notch actor. I fucking love this guy. Garrett Dillahunt.
Oh yeah. He's in a lot of movies that I enjoy watching.
Yeah, he's the deputy in this. On Deadwood, he plays two different characters because they liked him so much.
Yeah,
that they were like, we're bringing you back as
that's
a different
good move.
character.
It's like, hey, just be a different guy. No one will notice.
Yeah, and like you notice, but who gives a shit?
And it wasn't a twin, right? It wasn't.
No, it was a completely unrelated.
Because they did that on The Sopranos with Patsy and Philly. Like Philly got killed, and then they're like, and then the guy was like, yeah, but I need a job, and then they're like, okay, well now you're the guy's twin.
And they did that on Twin Peaks with
Are you thinking of Attack of the Clones?
Oh no, I was thinking of Laura and Maddie,
Clones.
but I was going to make some joke about like how like Richard Bamer was replaced by his twin, but it was too cerebral.
You're thinking of the planet Camino on Attack of the Clones, where they make clones of Jango Fett.
And you know what? Visuals wise, that's my favorite Star Wars planet.
It is a visual treat.
I do have a soft spot for Naboo. But
Naboo is visually, I would call it a visual treat.
Yeah, definitely. Man, when Mando gets that Naboo starfighter.
Oh my God! And hey, spoilers alert for fucking Boba Fett episode 6. I mean, but if you haven't seen it already, I mean, come on. But he says wizard. How about when he says wizard?
Oh,
yeah, and that's a straight up Kister move right there.
Yeah,
You know, somewhere on Tatooine, Kister got like a chill, and he was like, "Yeah, wizard."
Yeah, I wonder if adult Kifster's going to show up. Would he be? Yeah, he'd be an adult he'd be pretty old by now.
Let's
right?
think of. I mean, he would be like Anakin's age, so he would probably be in his like 60s or 70s. Because I think because this is 5 or 6 years after Return of the Jedi.
Right.
And Anakin, and like Anakin wasn't that old when he aced himself like on the Death Star. He was well, let's think about it here. He was 0 when he was born.
Sure.
And then 50 or 60 years later he died.
Right. And then some undetermined amount of time later.
I mean, there is a timeline that could easily be looked up on the internet that could figure this out. But okay. So Anakin in Phantom Menace is like 10. Let's call him 10.
Yeah.
And then like 10 years go by, Attack of the Clones, and then he's like 20.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And then only a couple years go by for Revenge of the Sith. So let's say he's 25 tops, and then Luke's born. What? Did you put your finger in the box again?
Get it out. The episode of the podcast that you were listening to has been brought to you by the world's #1 band in the manner of goof. We're called the Wamblers.
And I'm gonna say a pretty message all to all you pretty ladies out there. So, have you heard of this movie, Get Out of Here, Old Man?
I did. It's got this guy who I guess he thinks people are cows, and that's pretty goofy. And there's this other guy who likes to scratch up the floor when he's dead.
And there's this girl in there who's like, "Where are you going?" And he's like, "Don't hassle me."
And then the one part, the guy's like, "Hey, where's that guy?" And he goes and talks to this lady, and she's like, "I can't give you no information." And he's like, "Oh man, this is fuck you, man."
And one lesson that everyone should learn about this movie, it's like, if you're in this movie and that guy comes after you and he's like, "Here's a penny," just take the penny.
That's money, and money is something you want to get.
I mean, just take it away from him, and then he won't flips it and make a choice to just kill you.
Can I mention something about this movie, Don't Be an Old Man, that I thought was pretty funny?
Yeah.
So there's this one part where the one guy asks for a tool, and he calls it a Scroogey. And I'm like, that's a 1 or a 3, man.
Yeah. I mean, depending on how big it is and what you're doing with it, it's either a 1 or a 3.
Like, if I was writing this movie, I'd say, the line would have been, "Hey, got any 1s or 3s?"
So, just to explain, like, if you want to ram a screw into a piece of wood, what do you use?
I would use either a 1 or a 3.
Yeah, me too. And then this guy's like, "Give me a Scroogey," and I think maybe he wanted to get some fucks.
Oh, yeah, he probably wanted to have sex.
We know all about
He was
it.
like, "Hey, I can help
What
you
kind?"
find this guy, but first, I want to have some sex."
If any of you guys out there want to email us on Instagram, we're called The Wamblers, and you just should. And if you want to tell us, like, about what sex is like, you know, so we can compare it to what we know
Like,
about it,
we
'cause we know all about it.
Don't even worry about it. It's cool.
We are gonna have some, like, whenever we want, really. I mean, it's pretty serious.
It's pretty serious, and I'm going to even go so far as to say it's a whole lot of fun having a goof, and especially if you're going to do sex, because we do that, obviously.
And everyone knows that when you are done, then there are flowers, but, like, when do you see them? Because or where do you look?
Sometimes people ask, like how much of it did you have? And I said, like, well, I had, like, today I did most of sex.
Yeah.
And, like, maybe I'll do the rest later if I feel like it. You know, that's up to me.
Hey, JF. Do you ever think it's weird how, like, sometimes we're on this podcast and then sometimes we're, like, in a box?
Well, I think everything's pretty weird all the time.
Goofy.
So
I was just
it's okay
testing
with
you
me.
just to
It's like,
see. I was just testing you to see if you still have goofs.
it's cool. I'm like, don't worry about it. When somebody asks, hey, what is happening? I'm like, don't worry about it. It's cool. Just get yourself a load of goofs and cram them into your fucking mouth.
Yeah, like, we take acid. You know, we take acid.
What the hell? Oh, wait. Hold on.
You gotta stop touching those boxes,
I
man.
gotta just ask.
Didn't we decide this last
Yeah,
time?
what the hell?
Okay, so what's happening is we're touching the boxes. We hear all these crazy noises. It seems like maybe I'm in a dream for
it's just like
30
lights
seconds
out,
or so. And then I wake up and we're back and I just feel a little funny. I feel like electricity's been running through my body.
Yeah, it's
Too bad there's a worldwide pandemic and there's no way for us to know what is happening right now because all the scientists are busy trying to stop people from getting sick.
I don't know anything about anything. But now that I'm, like, feeling myself again, Tommy Lee Jones just showed up on screen, and this is definitely his at least second best performance ever.
Yeah.
First, obviously, being
Batman?
Space Cowboy.
Okay. Yeah, Space Cowboy.
I mean, he's good in The Fugitive. He won a good performance for the Fugitive, didn't he?
Yeah.
Which was like, what?
That was kind of weird. I was like, but that's just a movie. Like, I mean, it's fine, but it's just a movie.
Right. It's just
Like, why are you making such a big deal about it?
I will say, I think The Fugitive is probably among the top tier of movies that like are just movies. You know,
Yeah.
like
I mean, it's literally
like
a movie.
Tombstone's. Like Tombstone's a real good movie.
And Tombstone's definitely a better movie than The Fugitive, I would think, because they're both just fucking movies.
Or like In the Line of Fire. You know.
In the Line of Fire is better than all the other two.
Sure,
though.
but
Yeah.
I'm saying all them. I'm
They're
gonna
just
go. I'm gonna
movies.
go all Scorsese on them. I'm gonna say those are movies, not film.
Exactly. Yeah. And like, hey, not everybody can make a film. We're not all like Senior Spielbergo, you know, like, yeah. Oh,
So
did you hear the news?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
David
yeah.
Lynch?
Yeah. I think I texted you.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
I texted
yeah.
you the
I think
news.
you did. Yeah.
Dave
Sorry.
Lynch is gonna appear in an upcoming Steven Spielberg film.
And we know that it's a film about it's like semi-autobiographical.
yeah,
So-
you've heard like the rumors of who he's gonna be playing.
Actually, I haven't. All I heard. Here, let me guess, because all I heard was that it was a secretly guarded secret role.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely a secretly
But
guarded secret. But there's like some musings.
Okay, so my theory is that he's going to play David Lynch when Steven Spielberg goes to like visit David Lynch on a movie set.
Yeah, he's going to play a young
right?
David. He's going to play a young version of himself. He's just going to be playing in the mud with his friends. You're sitting there in the mud with your best friend. Forget about it.
It's the fun that's about to happen. But no, what is like spoiler alert? I guess like what is
Well,
the rumor?
the
Spoiler
belief on the internet is that he's Spielberg as a lad had some notoriety for like sneaking onto film sets and stuff. People think that David Lynch is going to be playing John Ford.
Whammy! Whammy?
Because
David
apparently
Lynch playing John Ford? Whammy?
let me see that,
Yeah.
you know. But I'm because I don't. Apparently, John Ford had sort of a twangy voice.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know, and I guess John Ford directed The Elephant Man originally, and it didn't really. That was a thing I made up.
Yeah. Sorry, I have a huge crush on Kelly MacDonald.
She's pretty good.
You know, it's funny. Not that she wasn't a great person, but the girl that I used to be in a relationship with looks very much like that. And and I would say that was one of the main reasons why I was initially interested in her, because
Sure.
I was like, wait a second, is that Kelly MacDonald over there? And it's like, no, it's not. But let's date her anyway because she's pretty cool.
It's like, all right, well, can you say some stuff from Boardwalk Empire?
Yeah. Anyway,
do any
yeah.
gambling.
So all we did today was talk about No Country for Old Men and the music for No Country for Old Men, and how our music is the proper music for No Country for Old Men.
I think we did pretty. I think
Yeah.
we talked about the movie that we're talking about more than usual.
We ticked pretty much every box, which is all we do. Like, I mean, this
We are
might as
box-ticking
this might as well be called the
guys.
Box Ticking Podcast. You know, maybe we'll change it to that next time. Box Tickers Anonymous, because
Yeah.
all we do is tick boxes and get things done.
Although
and,
we have used
in
our
an
names,
efficient way.
we're not anonymous.
That's
Box
true.
tickers, anonymous.
Anonymous. Yeah, we are anonymous. Anyway, this has been the TUUGOF Podcast. Thanks so much for listening. We'll be back next week. I forgot to tell you, we did a skip show on the last couple of themes of Lost Themes because Cody hasn't seen The Thing yet.
I know.
which
Can
was,
you fucking believe
but
that
I
I
gave
haven't-
him? Yeah, I gave him the Blu-ray of The Thing because I just really wanted
I
to see
know
that
I'll
first.
love the thing.
Yeah.
I do like things in general.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, and this is The Thing, so
and
it's like the main
about
one.
It's
the
about
main
the guy
one.
from the rock guy, right?
Yeah, it's the main one, the main thing. Yeah. Anyway, this is the TUUGOF Podcast. We'll see you next week. I don't know what we'll do next. I guess next week is maybe more Coen Brothers. Well, yeah, let's stick with that. So it might be Serious Man. It might be Man Who Wasn't There, and it might be Raising Arizona. I'm not sure. So I don't know. just look at it's EP6, man. It's all over Spot. Oh no,
Just believe it.
I mean, we're still on Spot. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about Spotify. Fuck that. I don't care. Whatever.
Yeah,
anyway,
everybody knows.
Yeah, everyone knows. Make your own decisions. You can find our podcast all over the place. Anyway, we'll see you next week. Go to TUUGOF.com for all your themes needs, and you keep on feeling that feeling, babies. What?
All right, bye.